And have been in some absolutely brilliant form, but the Warragul Industrials Footy Club have a finals position on the line today. Welcome back to the West Gippsland League, brought to you by Fairhaven Homes, the Match of the Round stream. I am your play-by-play commentator, Bailey Allen, and I reckon that we are going to have a brilliant showcasing of West Gippy footy on today between the Warragul Industrials and Coralin Footy Clubs. It's been a pretty good matchup the last couple of years between these two sides. Often remains even and competitive. And there's a number of storylines today with Warragul Industrials. I mean, they're practically already a finals lock at this point. The only way they can fall out of the finals picture is if Kilcunda Bass are to win the next two games and Warragul Industrials are to lose the next two games by a drastic amount. I think they've got about upwards of 40% on Kilcunda Bass, so I don't know how much they need to lose by to fall out of the finals picture, but geez, it'd be a lot as we just see the rain starting to set in here. Might be a little bit of a wet, sloppy day of footy, but the other storyline for the Coralin Footy Club is Nathan Gardner kicked a bag of 7 against Phillip Island last week, which, keep in mind, is not an easy thing to do. Phillip Island are probably second in the premiership race, maybe even first on some people's lists above Inverloch Hongwak. But Nathan Gardner kicks a bag of 7 goals last week, and that put his tally up to 92. So he's going to have to score 8 if he wants to get his century up here on the Fairhaven Homes Match of the Round stream. But you know, he probably will hit that mark. Hope I haven't just cursed him, but he's got Coralin today, who are typically not a brilliant defensive team, and then they've got Kui Rupp next week in the final game of the year, round 18, who you'd suspect Coralin would beat, and if they don't beat Kui Rupp, that might cause a bit of confidence issues going into finals. And as we're just talking about superstar key forwards, Ryan Gillis also had a bag of 5 last week. He's been absolutely brilliant as that second option up forward, just one of the most potent forward lines, Coralin. And I'll set this off air to many people. I seriously think Coralin are a dark horse for the premiership. You've got those sides like Inverloch and Tooradin who really like to control the footy, but I'll tell you what, Coralin's work, especially through the corridor, it's just sensational. But Phillip Islands, they've also been quite good, even though the Cobras knocked them off last week. That's home, I believe that one was. Yes, it was at the Cobra Dome. And if you want to talk about superstar forwards for the other club in Warragul Industrials, Mason McGarity has been having a pretty handy season. I believe he had 2 in the win against Dalston last week. They won that game by 57. No real surprises there. So should be a game full of offensive firepower, you'd think. But it'll be interesting just to see how that one goes, as either team just warming up here at Western Park. As I said, it was raining before, seems to have gone away, so maybe just a quick shower. And whilst we're waiting for either team, we'll just quickly go through the inclusions and the exclusions for either team today. So for Coralin, they have got quite a number of changes. So the ins are Corey Brook, Liam Taylor and Cade Perkins, who's making his debut today, number 55. And the outs are Brady White, the head coach, Sean Sparks, and a really big out here, Billy Thomas, the ruckman. He's certainly one of the better rucks in the comp. And you think that Warragul Industrials might have the advantage there, but I'll just take you through their inclusions and exclusions as well. So the ins, Sam Russell, Kane Oldham, Tom Cornwall, and Ben Northover, and their outs, Will Gibson, Luke Walker, Josh Iyer, and Mark Bradley. Yes, Mark Bradley, who is, of course, the ruckman for Warragul Industrials, has been doing a brilliant job in that aspect this year. Luke Walker is also a very big out. He's arguably one of their best defenders, can push up the ground and really impacts the contest. And then, although Josh Iyer, the former Bomber, hasn't played a lot of footy for the Industrials this year, I think he kicked 3 goals last week. And I didn't actually end up finding out why he was out of the side. I'd assume it'd be on VFL duty with Collingwood, I believe. So both teams huddling up now, just discussing things over. Also like to wish or give my congratulations to Travis Ogden, who is playing his 100th senior game today for Warragul Industrials, and it's a brilliant milestone for Ogden, and very handy player for this football club as well, a permanent senior side member. But just going back on those exclusions of Thomas and, of course, Mark Bradley, it's going to be interesting to see how that one goes, because Carl Staples, he's probably going to have to push up forward of the ground now. Usually he would play down forward rather, and take those contested marks and be leading out and kick a couple goals. But it's going to be really interesting to see how much ruck time he plays. They've got some other tall guys like Moncton and Kane Taylor, but I would suspect that Staples would probably go in the ruck the most, and then Taylor might just have to be that main key forward today. And as for the Coralline Cobras, I mean, Billy Thomas, he's that good of a player and that good at his ruck craft that you can't really replace him with anyone just because of how talented he is. But if you're going to go anyone, I'm just looking at the list at the moment. Matthew Briggs, maybe. Not quite sure who they go with up there. Even Nathan Gardner might rotate into the ruck on occasion. But both teams, or Coralline at least, have left their huddle. Warragul just still mulling things over. Sorry, technical difficulties there. Pressed the wrong button. But really cloudy skies over Western Park today. This ground holds up pretty well though, so don't expect it to turn into an absolute mud bath like maybe Phillip Island or whatnot. Having a bit of a delayed start today. Starting at 2 o'clock normally, but this game's starting at 2:07, maybe even a bit later. Nathan Gardner just going down to his position there. Hopefully he's able to put in an absolute show today. Who knows, he might even pull a bag of 8 out. We might get to see a century. I can inform our viewers that we're down at Inverloch next week, so if we're going to see a century, it has to be today. Well, at least if you're watching the live stream. So just holding up a little bit further. I'm not entirely sure what we're waiting for here. Bit of stagnation. So Ben Northover will be in the ruck today, taking on Mark Bradley's 53. I saw 53 in the ruck for a second, got quite a large fright. I thought I'd been making all this build-up just for Bradley to be playing, but no, he is still out. It's going to be Northover in the ruck. And as for Coralline, it's going to be Corey Brook, one of the inclusions for today. He'll be coming in. So siren finally has sounded and we're ready to go. So Brook was able to knock over Northover pretty well. Mackay hit the deck. and then just crumbing for the ball there. And jeez, that took an awfully long time for the siren to go. 10 minutes. But officially underway now. So Brook won another hit out. Spearings tried to run away with it, was unsuccessful. Umpire called it back, so 2 pretty quick stoppages early on in this contest. Visser tried to collect it with precision. Eventually won the hard ball. Enters inside 50. Ball doesn't really find any target. Should go over the line for Beck, and it will. But you're just seeing Visser there, just that real bull of a character. Really good in the contest. And it just brings that extra hardness to the Warragul Industrials Football Club. So Moncton was in the ruck. Machaya won the hit out, however. And marked uncontested by Hartley. As this rain has started to fall once again. Machaya over the top. Finds a man at centre wing. Kicks down the line and turns it over. I think that might be Debenham. Runs a switch to Sando. Now Brewster. Goes for a little bit of a run. Kicks it onto the other wing now. Ball will fall in the way of Beck. Gives it off to Bailey Beck. Handball could have been executed a little bit better. Tumbled around and officially... Oh, it's going to be a free kick in the way of Josh Cochran. So Spearings goes into the middle looking for Walkers. Walkers spilled it a little bit, but was able to pick it up pretty cleanly at the end of the day. And then kick inside 50. Wasn't marks there for Cronin. Handball up towards Gardiner. Looking to have a big day today. McGillivray well defended. So you just saw Tristan Walkers up there, although he was able to get clean possession of it eventually. The ball's just going to be a little bit slippery today with these light showers that have hit Western Park. So in the back, free kick's going to go to Benny Northover. That kick and decision could have been much better. Luckily, Commodore was there to save the day for the Dusties. Great mark there from Tim Payne. Out on the wing, looking to rebound back inside 50. So Payne goes inside. No mark taken. Can they crumb here up in front of goals? Ball's going to tumble around at ground level. DeSando rebounded off his palms. Dished off by hand. They're under immense pressure here. The Dusties. Russell ran into immediate pressure. And then DeSando was tackled hard in that contest. So Carolina putting on some really good forward pressure inside 50 at this current stage. Dusty's just struggling a little bit to have a clean possession, you'd think. Spearings. DeSando almost lost it. It was a good Gardiner tackle. And they're running towards goal and dribbling has snuck it through Jeremy Moncton. Classy effort there. And Coraline hit the board first. So 1-0-6 to Warragul Industrials, no score. So that was a wonderful sneak goal there from Jeremy Moncton after an immense amount of pressure. Jeez, Northover really got over the top of his opponent there in the ruck contest. Didn't really result in much in the end. So Northover just seems to have the size on Brook. Still able to win the hit out though. Trav Ogden in game number 100. Clean kick on the left. Looking for McGarity. Couldn't take a clean mark. Now Debenham. Run and carry. Kicks it up towards full forward. No one's really there for him though. Peluso wonderfully intercepted. And he's going to cut it back across. I think I was looking for Villela. It's been paid a free kick. Up on the centre wing now. Briggs came in with a fist. Now a free kick going the way of Warragul Industrials. That's Bailey Beck kicking down the line. Villela defended it well, affected the contest and spoiled the mark. He puts it up forward. I think that's Cronin out on centre wing. Cuts across to Machaya, who was almost pressured a little bit too much. Peluso, wonderful kick down there, and he finds Ryan. Ryan's going to hit up Moncton, who has plenty of space. Just a bit out of his distance, though, so he's going to have to kick inside 50, and that should go through for a minor score. It has. Very close. But Moncton has had a brilliant start to his day up at half forward. 1-7 to no score for the Dusties. Ball hits the deck. Gillis made a good effort to smother. Was unsuccessful, though. He's going to have to use Russell. Handball went behind his head. DaCosta attempted the mark, but right there to effect it was Will Grumish. So Coral Linen, their pressure has been brilliant so far. That's what's kept them on top of the Dusties. They've had a couple of inside 50 entries, Warragul, but they're just not putting on the same pressure around the coalface and definitely inside 50 as well. Just need some of those forwards to tackle and keep the ball locked in there. Brewster slipped a little bit. Briggs missed a lot. Spearings goes in hard for the footy. Now Payne just handballs in a general direction. Found its way to his opposition in Debenham, who puts it out looking for Visser. Moncton was smacked. And ball once again goes over the boundary line for a stoppage. But geez, Moncton, he has been very good in this first 7.5 minutes. Has had plenty of impact to start us off. Ready to resume play now. So Mockett. Here's McGarity. Out of half forward, have to push up into the middle a little bit. Looks for Debenham, finds him via hand. A low sort of kick. I think that's Brewster with it at the moment. It is. He kicks more towards the right, looking for Taylor. The pressure was good. Peluso didn't get a piece of it. Payne, handball over to Peluso, who got possession that time around. And is that out of the full? It sure is. So that was much better from the Dusties. Imposing pressure from all angles. And they'll kick and find the hands of McGarity. So McGarity looks to be, I'd say maybe about 47 metres out. So just on the range of his distance, you'd think. But he can definitely make these sort of kicks. So McGarity walks in for Warragul Industrials first of the day, looks online, and it comes back. McGarity kicks the first for the Dusties. 117 to 106 on your Totally Workwear scoreboard. So that was much better from Warragul Industrials. Placed a bit of pressure on those backmen in Peluso and Payne. And were able to create a set shot opportunity for their start. Mason McGarity. So back in the centre circle now. Ryan won the hit out. Couldn't get it out to advantage though because the Warragul Industrials Footy Club, they're pushing up forward. Socket off the grounds. Here's Visser. Goes off his line a little bit, looking for Taylor. Hits the chest. Almost in the exact same position as McGarity, and Kane Taylor can definitely go for this one. Consecutive goals in about a span of a minute. Could be up for grabs here for the Dusties. So Kane Taylor, as I mentioned before, very similar set shot to McGarity. Is it coming back? No, sticks right. 117 to 117, all square here. 10 minutes into the first quarter at Western Park. Coralline come out of out of full back, I should say. Spearings tackling hard to try and get possession down at ground level. Umpire calls for the footy back. So whistle blown. It's going to be a free kick paid in the way of Coralline. They're going to try and work it back. So Luke Ryan to Briggs. Valilla's running for him, but he decides to go back to where the ball came from in Ryan. And they've been caught up here. Warragul have set up pretty well behind the ball. Big leap. Couldn't mark it. Beck lost the footy. Here come the Cobras. Spearings by hands to Cochrane. Now Moncton has already had plenty of the footy early on. Tries to go for Walkers. Great contested mark. Now going is Liam Taylor. Inside 50. Ball dribbles off the deck a little bit. Whistle blown. High contact. And that's going to go to Coralline. To the debutant in Cade Perkins. On debut. And he can go for his first goal. Typically plays thirds, this fella. But has been called up into the senior side for the first time in his short career. Big breath for Perkins. Walks in and can only register a behind in this case. 128 to 117 in your Totally Workwear scoreboard. Ogden. Beck plays on immediately. Kicks it down the line. Debenham tried to sock it to himself. Broke through the contest. Ball got stuck. High contact. Going back to Warragul. So multiple kicks down the line here for Warragul. And they've turned it over again. Looking to attack quickly the Cobras. DaCosta meets a bit of pressure. He's forced to concede and go out of play on that instance. So Mockett. His head out will go straight back out of play. So Ryan, his hit out, didn't have much effect. Bailey Beck putting the ball up forward, maybe placed it a little bit too high because it's intercepted at half back. Here's Moncton again. Easily best on in his first quarter. Looking for Cochrane. Oh, geez, Bailey Beck nearly took a brilliant mark there. Was not to be though, and Kyle Willis will just give it a light tap to put it out of play. Whistle blown. Mockett's going to get the free kick here. Deservingly so as well. I think the call was for either high contact or a block. Oldham's going to take the free kick on this instance though. We'll go the short option and Beck. Not 15's the call though, so they've got to really fight for possession here, the Dusties. That was an inaccurate handball. Cochrane can line up from 50 metres out. Here's Gardiner. Marks it, used the body, and the dribbles it across. The late pressure from Kyle Willis wasn't enough. And the Gardiner tracker, we're up to 93. And there's a free kick being paid to Warragul Industrials here. Yeah, so cancel the score. He's up to 92 now, or staying at 92. He's been he's given away a free kick guard. I don't know about that. Jeez, didn't use a lot of push at all, really. But nonetheless, they're going to call the ball back to get thrown in. Jeez, I thought that was really unlucky there. Just placed their hands around McGillivray, I thought. Didn't necessarily see too much of a push. So Bailey Beck, who has won a bit of the footy himself in this first term, gets wrapped up immediately. Hit out one by the Dusties in Northover. Northover, once again, a really big punch. Luke Ryan spins out of trouble. Got it to Peluso. Taylor opted for the punch at the back of the head instead of the mark. Briggs got it off. Back to Taylor. Ryan, his ball was interrupted. Beck, always working hard in the middle so far in this contest. Marked uncontested at centre wing by Debenham, who will just assess what's in front of him. He'll send the ball up forward, looking for any forward. Payne should get to this first. Kane Taylor, brilliant effort though for the Dusties. Visser, is that holding the ball? It sure is. Ran too far without disposing. Well executed tackle as well. Now Coral in at half back. He's been at this position a couple times. Just haven't been able to execute inside 50 or even in their forward half of the ground in general all that well. Another free kick's been paid to Coralline here. Cronin almost took a great contested mark. Got a great pace of the footy instead. Gillis was just knocked by Ogden. Wasn't able to conjure up anything for his teammate in Gardner. Now Warragul with possession. Beck the skipper to Beveridge. He'll put it up forward. Extended pressure here from the Cobras, so they have to retreat back into the middle of the grounds. And then what a kick by Ogden. Has found Visser, but plays on. Kicks it across. Easy as that. A wonderful find there from Nick Visser. And Brewster's going to go one step further. Be unselfish. And gain a bit of meterage. And he's found his captain in Todd Beck. Very even contest we've got at the moment at Western Park. Ogden doesn't typically find himself in this position very often. Kick's looking straight though, and it's hit the post. So all square, once again, 128 to 128 on your Totally Workwear scoreboard. So just fumbling around with it in the back line. Jays faced a lot of pressure and Briggs has been called holding the ball. Thought he got rid of that in time, but apparently not. Umpire with a better view is awarded a free kick to McGarity, who's already got one to his name. Had a set shot similar to this one on the other side of the ground. Maybe a bit tougher of an angle though for McGarity. This would put them in front. And it hasn't made the distance. Just touched at the line. So now 139 to 128. So Warragul claiming the lead for the first time in today's contest. Had a pretty good couple last minutes in the wet. Ball falls right into the chest of Perkins. He'll just send it up towards the pack. Forward the ball. McGivray was knocked about. Russell had to dive to beat out the imposing Gillis. And Gillis is arguing that it wasn't 15. Now into time on. McGivray finds Willis. Or not Willis, rather Ben Nicol, I should say. Visser almost took a terrific overhead mark. Northover trips over himself. Found a target at the end of the day though, so it didn't matter. High flying ball in the middle of the ground. It's going to go to back down towards the deck. Taylor got rid of it, got it to Walkus at half back. Now Perkins once again. Doesn't take his time on this occasion. Manly finds Payne, who's trying to shrug off a defender. Taylor, Walkus, big knock there. Briggs trying to get to the contest in time. Eventually all ends in a stoppage. 21 and a half minutes through the first quarter at Western Park. Pretty cold day today. Windy as well, only the 12 degrees and raining. So ball's going to dribble and fumble its way into the forward line. Gillis was looking for Cronin, but had about maybe 5 different Dusties defenders trying to tackle him all at once. Ball goes over the head of Taylor. Gives a bit of advantage to Moncton, who's trying to collect it himself, but the ball's a bit too slippery. Thin air. And that is a very clear hold there. Well seen by the umpire. Oldham could have given off the hands to his teammate in Herbert. Instead, he'll just put it up into a pack, hoping someone can mark it. And a bit of congestion build up there. So Machaya. Gillis, great overhead grab. Despite the Sam Russell push. Gave it off. Handball was faked. Now Gardner in the 1v1 against McGivray. McGivray's kept him pretty quiet so far. Gardner picks it up. Was looking for Gillis. Was knocked out the way though. Now Villela to Machaya. Going inside 50. And the kick was just so poor. Coralin were looking pretty dangerous for a sec. But now Beck at half back. Was just execute a simple kick down the line. Ball's loose though. Cronin moving it through hands. Going inside. Gardner. Too easy. Not 15. Probably a fair call. So McGivray and Gardner going in the ruck head to head once again. Beck dribbled the ball around a little bit, playing a bit of basketball. Ball, it's going to find its way to Debenham, who's trying to scoop it up. Found its way to Nicol instead. Now Commodore off half back. Kicks it down to centre wing. Beck got a lot of distance there from Walkus. Good lead out. He'll pause for a moment. Visser, who's been pretty good in that midfield. It's a half-forward sort of role today. Always is. Ball's loose. Mockett. Uncontested. 10 metres or so out from goal. Almost directly in front. Dusties should get their second major of the day here. So Mockett, simple as that, on the siren, kicks the Dusty seconds. And going into quarter time, that makes it 2-3-15 to 1-2-8. Dusty's probably just that little bit, more efficient in that first term, although Coralline certainly looked dangerous at stages. Got a big next 3 quarters ahead of us. And we're just going to take a quick ad break and we'll be back shortly.
Hey, I'm Michael Van der Klooster, but everyone knows me as Vander. I own a company called Vander Surf and I've been making boards for 23 years. When I started, it was all hand shaping and templates off the blank, and then as CNC surfboard shaping machines came into more availability, I started designing on the laptop and designing in 3D modeling. It allows me to be creative, express, my artistic side of making surfboards. My favourite part of shaping boards is I really enjoy the interaction with the customer. I love making surfboards for other people. If I can make a board that's going to make them enjoy going surfing more, that's what I get the most joy out of.
This is a story of a community that likes to work hard, digging, fixing, building, keeping people safe, or just lending a hand. A community that all have one place to come together, where they're spoilt for choice and good service is everything. And although there are stores all over Australia, the owners are as local as they come. Totally Workwear, clothing your hard-working community.
Hey, I'm Michael Vanderklooster, but everyone knows me as Vander. I own a company called Vander Surf, and I've been making boards for 23 years.
So welcome back to the Fairhaven Homes Match of the Round stream in the West Gippsland League. Today we have the Warragul Industrials versus the Coralline Cobras, and Dusty's just got it over the top slightly in that quarter, 2-3-15 to 1-2-8 on your Totally Workwear scoreboard. Coralline started off pretty well, but almost seems like they got a little bit tired towards that end of the quarter, just stopped winning contests. At the coalface, they were working hard at the Dusties through guys like Bailey Beck and Nick Visser on occasion. But that being said, the Cobras certainly did look dangerous at times, and even Nathan Gardner momentarily had a goal to his name before it was called a free kick as well. So can't be too negative on the Cobras after that first quarter. A little bit left to be desired, but nothing too horrible. So back underway, second term here at Western Park. Clouds looking a little bit less great. Briggs ran into his man. DeSando came out of the centre square, kicked it into space, looking for a teammate. Visser tried to put the bump on Moncton. Moncton still won it regardless. Handball escaped Cochrane, however. So here are the Dusties. Beveridge lost control of the footy. Ball ended up going over to DeCosta, I believe that was. So Northover, his trademark sort of punch out there in the ruck. Clean possession is almost just impossible to win at the moment. Everyone just trying to scoop it to themselves. Keeps bouncing across the deck. Cochrane spun out of trouble just in the nick of time. Ryan puts it up forward. Is the bounce going to escape Gillis? It might just. Still chasing hard for that footy. Dives into the body of Devonham. And ball is going to fall out of favour for the Coralline Footy Club. And here, oh my God, Walker's just got buried by Visser. The kick's going to be turned over, but what a bump from Visser. Absolutely decked Walker's. But didn't end up resulting in anything. Briggs up forward. Perkins, big flight. Ball goes out of play. So thrown back in and scooped immediately by the Dusties. Needs to get rid of it. That is a great tackle from Cochrane. Wonderful. And now they're getting into it as well. Cochrane and his opponent, I didn't happen to say who it was going for that run. Had his shirt ripped off. I think it was Herbert. And there's even more action. They've just continued to go on with the play here. Ball's going up forward. Payne trying to get over the line for a rush behind, and he does. But there was a big build-up on the arc of 50 there. Entertaining sort of stuff. Edwards. Oh no, McGarity has tackled him cleanly. That is brilliant forward pressure. It's going to stay with the Dusties. Beck, Briggs, well done to retain, or to get it back rather. Walkers, can he escape the boundary line? No. And they want to block here. The Dusties, they won't get it. It's going to be called back in for a throw-in. Wonderful job there from Mason McGarity. Saw Edwards went off his line a little bit, immediately pounced. Brewster went about 3 different Cobras. And more build up here. They're going to pay a free kick to the Cobras. Umpire tell him to clear the area. Cochrane runs a little bit. Off to Edwards. Kicks it down the line. Gillis is going to be paid the mark, as he should as well. It was a great effort. Kicking it forward to Villela. Villela's just really patient and going to Moncton. Kick went well over his head, so DaCosta has to try recover it for him. Was unsuccessful. Ogden. McGarity was sandwiched. Back with Coralin now. Edwards. Put out forward. Here's Briggs going inside 50. Debenham did a good defensive effort. Beck from the defensive 50 chucks it into space. Walkers going for a bit of a run here. And he was tackled well. Has to try and get it free. Peluso was the option available. Perkins. Things are really heated up here in this second quarter. Ball movement's a little bit faster. Machaya. Wonderful kick from Perkins on debut. Machaya hits Gardiner, who led out very well and can now go for goal number 93 on season 2023. He's yet to kick a goal today. Was robbed of one before. Or maybe not robbed, but had a free kick paid against him. And you'd think with Gardiner's skill and talent that he'd be able to kick this. The pretty slight angle, I'd say maybe 35 metres out. Set shot coming up for Nathan Gardiner, the best key forward in the comp by a long mile, sends it home. And the Cobras have had a really good first 5 minutes, 2-4-16 to 2-2-14 on your Totally Workwear scoreboard. Dusty's lead this entertaining contest by 2. We've had a bit of drama now. Both teams feeling a little bit feisty towards one another. And the ball movement has certainly been more fast-paced, something we're more accustomed to with these two sides. Especially Coralin. Maybe because the rain's eased up a bit. As you can see, there's a bit more blue sky showing over here in Warragul. Ready to resume. Oh, jeez, Northover. Oh, not Northover, Kane Taylor. You can't do that. He's just trying to bull Corey Brook at the free kick paid against him. Peluso. Little short chipping kick over to Villela. Gillis is really pushed up forward to the ground. Takes a dive to collect that one. He hugs the boundary line real tight. And he'll go back to Nathan Villela, who'll put it up forward. Overhead mark, unsuccessful for the Cobras. They've still got possession here, though. Villela, bit of a scrubber that one was. They've got to be careful here, though, the Dusties, but a sweeping action off half-back was executed to an absolute tee, and now all of a sudden they're at centre wing. Have a look at Todd Beck here, cuts it back towards the middle, but have a look at the skipper there in Tim Payne. Well done, Peluso, always standing tall in defence. Very accurate user of the footy as well. Now Cochrane's got a bit of space to play with, looking for Gillis. Kick escaped him. Commodore collecting the footy now. Cochrane was waiting for it. Coming in swooping was Hartley. And geez, Gillis looks really sore there. Ryan Gardiner, good lead. As he's starting to heat up. But geez, have a look at Gillis. He was absolutely writhing on the floor in pain. You can only hope he's all right. Certainly going to be a necessity for their finals chances. Still looks to be in a bit of trouble there. As Nathan Gardiner now begins to walk through. Very tough angle, this one. Has he kicked that as well? No, he hasn't. Through for a behind. And Gillis just seeming to be limping a little bit. Now starting to jog. That's a good sign. He'll still be making his way over to the bench, though. You can only hope that we see Gillis back on the field today. He's an extreme talent, that man. One of the most entertaining characters this competition has to offer. Mark fell off the chest of a Cobra. Debenham puts it up forward. Taylor's pushed up a little bit. Now have a look at this. Ogden and Peluso. Well, not Ogden, rather Beck. Nonetheless, Kane Taylor finds a different option. So should be entering inside 50. Looking for McGarity. Jed Edwards punched it well. Falcon, Visser, McGarity try to snap it. Briggs, the last line in defence. His kick was good to Hartley, who's met by a couple dusties. His kick directed at Spearings wasn't all that accurate. Cronin has to work hard here to get possession. Beck was tackled by his own teammate. Holding the ball, the umpires claims that Beck dragged it in. So Cronin is going to collect possession here. Goes to Hartley. Maybe not the correct decision because now they're a bit rushed. Machaya looking for Gardner, almost took the overhead mark. And Mockett is going to concede a rush behind here. So once again, we're all square. 2-4-16 each. As this is shaping up to be one of the better games 2023 has to offer. Brewster. Here's Payne for the Cobras. Machaya. Payne again. Puts it inside 50. Oh no, Mockett has dropped the mark and slipped over. Spearings has the ball smacked out of his grasp. Mockett able to redeem himself and exit outside of the defensive 50. The pressure here from the Cobras is immense though. Warragul just trying to find options. And they eventually settle on a stoppage. So thrown back in. I think that was Willis. Visser, his ball was smothered. Getting it through hands now, Warragul Industrials. Going up forward, Ogden. He's going to have a lot of space to him, but couldn't pick up the ball cleanly. So now he has to try create a little bit of magic. Peluso versus Kane. Taylor wins every day of the week in that instance. And Taylor's going to go the unselfish option. Can't hit his man on the chest. But that is no worries at all, because Beveridge is able to snap it around. Dusty's hit the front again. 3-4-22, 2-4-16 on your Totally Workwear scoreboard. So really unselfish goal assist there from Kane Taylor. So able to get his teammate Cole Beveridge a major to add to his stat sheet. In doing so, they got the lead back, the Dusties. Another snap. That ball's just a little bit of a floater. Peluso went to ground to fight for the footy. Lost it at the end of the day though. Payne just knocked over his man DeSando. Now he's going ones with, I think that's DeSando, or Herbert I should say. Mockett and Payne still going at it. Ball is now in the forward half for Coralline. Josh Cochran, geez, he's had a good quarter. Gardiner kept control of the ball in the air. And he is really starting to impose his presence. Had a similar shot, well, pretty much the exact same shot, just moments before when Ryan Gillis got injured. You can imagine if he was to score this, the Cobras would certainly get around him. This is for number 94 in the season as he continues to tick closer to that century. Gardiner has found himself a major from the boundary 50 metres out. How about that set shot? One of the best we've seen, not only in this game, but in season 2023. 94 goals for Nathan Gardiner. So we're all tied again, 3-4-22 for each team. And Gillis is now back on the grounds at half forward for the Cobras. So great to see there. Maybe he just pulled up with a bit of a corky. Seems to be fine at the moment though. Walking pretty freely. Here we go again. North over in the ruck. Ball goes out to Villela, who's still wanting a free kick. I think he eventually got it. The umpire listened to his request and they're going to pay a 50-metre free kick. I'm assuming for umpire dissent from maybe DeSando. But Villela is going to go up forward of the grounds. Who's he going to look for here? Doesn't have the distance in him from here. Going to fall full forward. Perkins almost got a crumb. Taylor! No. Debenham pushing the back. Should be. Or is it going to be a boundary throw-in? No, Debenham will take the free kick. So Debenham kicks it out into a pack on the wing. Now either side trying to struggle for possession. Neither successful though. So Beck, intercept possession for him. It was a good, decent effort from Moncton to try affect it. I think that's McGivleray with it though. He'll run, big boot up forward looking for Taylor. Can they get an option out the back here? Debenham didn't have possession of it but was held. Brewster tap out to a teammate who lines up. Not all that accurate though, gonna go out of bounds. Went right over Jed Edwards' head and he was happy to see that ball go out. Or just a tick over 16, I should say, in this second term. It's been a great contest of footy, especially in this second quarter. Machai tried to clear it out of defensive 50. Now it's a race, foot race between Debenham and Moncton. Look at Debenham, kept it alive, and from the toughest of angles, he's kicked a banana. How about that? Debenham won the foot race and then put on an absolute circus shot. And that might just beat out Gills' set shot from before. That was a very difficult, but Debenham's made it work. 4-4-28 to 3-4 to 22, I should say. And the Dusties once again claiming a 6-point lead. It's being a see-sawing contest so far. Coralline haven't had the lead since the opening moments of the first quarter. Looking for another clearance here, the Dusties. DaCosta put in the extra effort. However, Luke Ryan just puts a helicopter ball up forward. Gardner! Ball fell into his lap and they've paid a free kick against him. Jeez, if he had that goal in the first quarter, that mark just there, it would have probably been a goal. Could have been up real close to that 100 mark, but Cochrane intercepts, able to rebound back inside 50 at full forward. And in turn, it's going to be Trav Ogden to get it back for the Dusties. Brewster didn't get clean possession of it, but have a look at that. He scoops it off the deck and handballed. Wonderful kick. Kane Taylor has a lot of time and a lot of space. What is he doing here? Just put on the pause button. Try to hit Nickel up forward. Peluso now. Calm kick. Composed to Brook. Taylor, did that go the distance? Taylor down the line. Gillis made a big run at it. Cochrane's going to take claim of the mark. They want ball. They're not going to get it. Still a pretty good effort there from Ben Northover. Whistle blown. block. Coralin. Brooke will take it. So Brooke just puts it up towards the back. Gillis hits the deck. Still a bit of congestion here. Ball eventually spits out. Ball still tumbling around. Another whistle blown. Thrown. Warragul. So Brewster. So I don't think that's Brewster at all, but certainly was a Dusty's player. Oh no, it was Brewster. Just trying to keep the ball alive. It was rather unsuccessful though. Make sure you don't leave us at all, because we'll have some around the ground updates for you at halftime as well. DaCosta. Interesting looking disposal. Spearings, Cochrane. Oh, it just slipped out of his hands, didn't it? Spearings does a little bit of a U-turn, chucks it into space, and then floating back was Herbert, I believe. They got past Taylor with these. Hits Russell. Russell calls to send a big one down the line. North over. Visser, good effort. Machaya flew in the air. Beck was knocked off the ball. Dusty's still fighting hard for it. Pushing the back. It's going to go to Coralin. Gus DaCosta to take this one. He'll just chip it across to Peluso. Composed kick to Spearings. Taylor lost it. I think they're going to call the mark though. Here's Cochrane. How important has he been for Coralin, not only this season but today? And they're going to call a mark for Trav Ogden, who's having a pretty good game in his 100th. Just as I say that, he's kicked it back, left a little bit to be desired. Now to play. So holding the ball. So I think it was Machai just went on a little bit of a run. Perhaps a little bit too far. Fist up. Good leap. Taylor on possession. Walkus. Hartley knocks it over. Nearing 23 minutes gone in this second quarter. The ball dribbling into Coralin's forward line. Another stoppage as the ball rolls out of bounds. Mockett snapped it. Now DaCosta had clean possession, but just lost it, slipped out of his hands. They can still work hard here, the Cobras. So Ryan to Payne, punched it, only went to a Dusty's player. And now they're exiting once again outside of defensive 50. Great job, Briggs. He can put it back inside. Or maybe he'll cut into the middle. Really dangerous, risky choice here. They're conceding meterage at the ground. Able to concede though, and jeez. Beck is holding his shoulder there. Still is. Seems to be all right though. Got up quickly. Oldham holding the ball. Cochrane once again. Now Cochrane's looking a little sore. And Oldham. What's happened there? We'll get back to that one shortly. Ryan goes up forward. Looking for an option. Oh my God, Gardiner. Almost a massive climb there. Spearings up towards full forward. Has that gone through for Spearings? You bet it has. Once again tied up. 44-28 for Coralline and Warragul. Spearings from the boundary. And Cochrane looks to be sore in the shoulder region, walking from the ground. But my goodness, we have had some brilliant goal kicking today through Gillis, Moncton, Debenham, and now Spearings. Half time, you'd suspect would be pretty close now. Block going to Warragul. Can they get their lead back? Going in to the major break. Northover. Big boot inside 50. Kane Taylor leads up. Peluso out at the back though. Read it well and read it best. His judgment in his kicking wasn't great though. Spearings out the back was tackled by Trav Ogden. Mr. 100 today. Mockett sends it back inside 50. Visser had to be really careful. Remains strong in his core though. And took the overhead mark. So Visser from 50 metres out got very close to the man on the mark, but that's made the distance. Nick Visser is a real tough nut, gets into Briggs as well. And just like that, Warragul are able to get their lead back. Every time Coralline get a major, and you just think the tide's starting to shift a little bit. All of a sudden, it is Warragul Industrials with a response every single time. 5-4-34, 4-4-28 on your Totally Workwear scoreboard. Neither Brook or Mockett won that hit out there. They win the clearance, though, the Dusties. Nickel got Peluso high, wasn't seen. Nickel's going to be tackled hard and strong. Into the deck. Umpire calls for the ball back. Nickel versus Payne. Briggs versus Nickel. Just a bit of push and shove, a lot of animosity in this game. Brings a bit of drama to the table. Umpire just making sure everyone stays in order. Mockett came up with a knee and won the hit out. McGarity couldn't get it. Briggs, Payne holding the ball. They're going to say Briggs didn't get clean possession of it. Payne is being a bit of a pain himself. Mockett gives him a big push off to get it to his teammate in McGarity. Another goal to put them up by 2 kicks would be huge. Peluso and Nickel are getting onto it. In behind the scenes, McGarity's kick won't make it. And there goes your siren. So either team are showing a lot of spite towards each other. It's been entertaining to watch. And have a look at this. What has Mockett done there? He's gone to Glenn Archer on Wayne Carey. He's trying to scare Tim Payne there. That was funny to watch, that one. And the team's just breaking up there. I was quite literally like Glenn Archer versus Wayne Carey when they met up for the first time, Kangas versus Adelaide back in 2001 or whatever year it was. But my goodness, and they're still talking. You can see all the Coralin boys facing off towards Warragul Industrials. Geez, we have a brilliant game on our hands here. It's been high intensity, it's been high octane offense. Can't wait to continue it. Half time here at Western Park, 5-4-34 to 4-4-28. The Dusties in this one, they are up by 6 points. We'll take a quick ad break at the major break, and we'll be back shortly.
I'm going all the way up. I'm going all the way up. I'm letting go in my heart of everything that holds me down. No, no. And it's feeling like gathering enough. I can feel the love. Oh yeah, it's all around me.
Winterland whisper in my ear, make my troubles all disappear.
Hey, I'm Michael Vanderkluster, but everyone knows me as Vander. I own a company called Vander Surf, and I've been making boards for 23 years. When I started, it was all hand shaping and templates off the blank, and then as CNC surfboard shaping machines came into more availability, I started designing on the laptop and designing in 3D modeling. It allows me to be creative, express, my artistic side of making surfboards. My favorite part of shaping boards is I really enjoy the interaction with the customer. I love making surfboards for other people. If I can make a board that's going to make them enjoy going surfing more, that's what I get the most joy out of.
This is a story of a community that likes to work hard, digging, fixing, building, keeping people safe, or just lending a hand. A community that all have one place to come together, where they're spoilt for choice and good service is everything. And although there are stores all over Australia, the owners are as local as they come. Totally Workwear, clothing your hard-working community.
I'm Michael Vanderklooster, but everyone knows me as Vander. I own a company called Vander Surf, and I've been making boards for 23 years. When I started, it was all hand shaping and templates off the blank, and then as CNC surfboard shaping machines came into more availability, I started designing on the laptop and designing in 3D modeling. It allows me to be creative, express, my artistic side of making surfboards. My favourite part of shaping boards is I really enjoy the interaction with the customer. I love making surfboards for other people. If I can make a board that's going to make them enjoy going surfing more, that's what I get the most joy out of.
This is a story of a community that likes to work hard, digging, fixing, building, keeping people safe, or just lending a hand. A community that all have one place to come together, where they're spoilt for choice and good service is everything. And although there are stores all over Australia, the owners are as local as they come. Totally Workwear, clothing your hard-working community.
I'm going all the way up. I'm going all the way up. I'm letting go in my heart of everything that holds me down. And it's feeling like I'm in the groove. I can feel the love. Oh yeah, it's all around me.
Wonderland, whisper in my ear, make my troubles all disappear.
Hey, I'm Michael Vanderklooster, but everyone knows me as Vander. I own a company called Vander Surf, and I've been making boards for 23 years. When I started, it was all hand shaping and templates off the blank, and then as CNC surfboard shaping machines came into more availability, I started designing on the laptop and designing in 3D modeling. It allows me to be creative, express, my artistic side of making surfboards. My favourite part of shaping boards is I really enjoy the interaction with the customer. I love making surfboards for other people. If I can make a board that's going to make them enjoy going surfing more, that's what I get the most joy out of.
This is a story of a community that likes to work hard, digging, fixing, building, keeping people safe, or just lending a hand. A community that all have one place to come together, where they're spoilt for choice and good service is everything. And although there are stores all over Australia, the owners are as local as they come. Totally Workwear, clothing your hard-working community.
Vanderklooster, but everyone knows me as Vander. I own a company called Vander Surf, and I've been making boards for 23 years. When I started, it was all hand shaping and templates off the blank, and then as CNC surfboard shaping machines came into more availability, I started designing on the laptop and designing in 3D modeling. It allows me to be creative, express, my artistic side of making surfboards. My favorite part of shaping boards is I really enjoy the interaction with the customer. I love making surfboards for other people. If I can make a board that's going to make them enjoy going surfing more, that's what I get the most joy out of.
This is a story of a community that likes to work hard, digging, fixing, building, keeping people safe, or just lending a hand. A community that all have one place to come together, where they're spoilt for choice and good service is everything. And although there are stores all over Australia, the owners are as local as they come. Totally Workwear, clothing your hard-working community.
I'm going all the way up. I'm going all the way up. I'm letting go in my heart.
So welcome back to the Fairhaven Homes Match of the Round stream in the West Gippsland Football League. I'm your play-by-play commentator, Bailey Allen. And, geez, we have had an enthralling contest so far. It has been a tight contest between the Dusties and the Cobras, 34-28. Dusties lead by 6. We're going to quickly take you around the grounds before we get back underway here at Western Park. Narnagoon only beating Kilcunda Bass by the 10 points. That one was updated 20 minutes ago, but I thought the Goon would have been up by a bit more in that one. Inverloch up by 57 points, 58-1 against Curramborough. Phillip Islands versus Cooey Rupp, 78-1 in that contest. Tooradin Darmore Garfield, 67-20 in favour of Tooradin. And then our Bunyip Dawson game doesn't have an update, but you could imagine Dawson are probably winning that one. As for the AFL, North Melbourne are beating Essendon by a point, and the Gold Coast, or rather the Swans, are up against the Suns by 3 points at the SCG. So, all eyes back here at Western Park, though. We saw a little bit of fighting going on between the two teams. Just moments before we went on for our halftime break, it was mainly Tim Payne, the captain of Coralline, instigating all of it. But it was certainly quite entertaining to watch, and it's been a real seesawing affair. But ready to get things back underway now. Second half of footy coming up here. Dusties versus Cobras. Who's got it from here? Let's wait and see. So the ball's going to go ground level. North over. Fell on top. Now Brooke. Just got it out. Squirted out of the congestion. Now it's just going through different sorts of hands here. Jenkins, or not Jenkins, rather Perkins. Almost collected it there. And have a look at the spin and go from Nickel. Going inside 50. Has that hit McGarrity's chest? No, the call's play on. Ball still has to be one here for Coralline. Ball smothered as well. Now it's just bubbling around there in the contest at the coalface. Umpire will deem the play dead at half forward for the Dusties. Machaya tried to clear it, was rather unsuccessful. Ball's going to bounce and go over to Debenham. Kicks it up forward, inside 50, looking for McGarity. Was defended well. Visser sent it high up in the air. Ryan couldn't get a piece of it, was held off it. Now Peluso at the bottom of the pack. Ball still being able to rip free though. Brewster gives it off to a teammate in Herbert. Visser with the one hands. And looks somewhat confident in going for this set shot, but we know he's a good enough kick to find an option here inside 50. But incredibly tough angle. Gillis had a major from the other side of the ground. Similar sort of shot though. So Visser, this would put them up by 12 if he was to make it. Kicks on its way, and it's going to go through for a minor score. So 5-5-35 to 4-4-28, as it has gotten real dark all of a sudden here at Western Park. Hopefully no rain is among us, because that would make things slow up immediately. So whistle blown. It's going to be thrown in. North over. Machaya. Good smother there from Visser once again. He's been one of the best on ground so far in this contest. Walker got it to Peluso, then off by hands with the hand pass to Machaya. DeCosta. This is really impressive ball movement here from the Cobras. They've just got to put the finishing touch on it, and Gillis couldn't do so. Ogden out there at the back. Now Russell going for a little bit of a run. Scrubber sort of kick was aimed at Oldham, but was aimed way too low. And back out of bounds. Just a high-flying sort of ball, Walkus. Wow. Went up there with one knee and tried to take a huge mark. Never really looked all that realistic, though. So they've cleared it again, the Cobras. Interesting sort of kick over there to Cochrane. Scooting out the back there was Ogden. He's turned it over, though. He does a short kick to Hartley. Hartley's going to kick it across the ground. Wow, that's a risky kick. Brooke had to fight against Northover to get it. Now McGarity, he can get it over to Nickel. Handball wasn't great though, so Walkus has just given his team possession again. Well done. Ogden evaded the tackle with precision. Beautifully done. And then they're just able to calm themselves down a little bit through Debenham. But Ogden, wow, he has been impressive today down back for the Dusties. Has saved a couple goals, surely. Brewster, uncontested. He moves it on immediately. He's going to dribble across the ground, trying to run for it and get free. He can't. It's going to be a free kick there. I think it might have been DeSando with possession. Didn't happen to see who got tackled there. Taylor looking for Moncton. Beck defending it, but giving a free kick away in the process. So Moncton is finally allowed to have his free kick. Gillis telling him where to put it. He's going to have to climb up big to get this one. Couldn't, but he had someone in from behind. Falling on his behind was Perkins. Gillis tackled, and even before that a free kick was given away, and Sam Russell with it. Centering sort of kick. Herbert. That kick hit the deck first before the target. It's a silly free kick given away though, so DeSando will have it back. Just moving through the middle here. Templeton. He's only had it a handful of times today. Puts it inside forward 50, looking for Taylor. Or Mockett rather. But now they've got options out the back. They're just going to find an accurate set shot on goal. And no, Walkers is going to kick it. Well, what's happened here? They're celebrating. No, it's just a point. So 5-7-37 to 4-4-28 now. Or 5-6-36. Yeah, I think it's 5-6-36 to 4-4-28 on your Totally Workwear scoreboard. Free kick given away to Warrigal once again. Had a couple frees in this third quarter. Got to tie themselves up a bit, the Cobras. Debenham to Travis Ogden. This rain is starting to get really heavy now. Ogden on the left. Rain didn't bother him. That was actually a really good kick inside 50. The mark just wasn't able to be taken. Briggs, big punch out. Doesn't have possession of the footy. That's got to be a free kick, surely. And they're going to pay it. And try to get away with the advantage there. As I said before, rain's really starting to settle in now. Might not have many scores after this. Villela looking for an option up forward. They're just going to put it up to any of their keys, but they can't win any of the contested footy. It's just bubbling around there. No one's cleanly taking it. And they've paid another free kick to Warrigal. Eventually moving it on. Goes down the line. Congestion building up once again. Ball spits out. It's going to be dragged back in though. Or no, maybe Ryan's going to rip it out. Villela can go for a little bit of a run. Dribbler down to Ryan. And he's just going to smack it over the boundary. So finally entering inside 50 and just not having any efficiency with it. Ogden. McGivler, or rather Herbert, sorry. Now Beck has Beveridge if he wants to use him. He'll go a different option. He'll go to his brother and Bailey instead. Kicking it chip to chip sort of style here. Templeton finds Commodore. McGarity chasing hard for it. Xing out of 50. Has to spin across. Goes back to Commodore, who now has an opportunity to take his time. and find the right option inside 50. He's got Templeton to his left, so uses him with a hand pass. Now inside 50 for the Dusties. And that's a great mark taken in defence by Matt Ryan. Ryan's called to move it on. And just like that, another free kick's been paid to Warragul. They've lacked a lot of discipline in the first 10 minutes, the Cobras. Sean Sparks will be questioning that at three-quarter time, you'd think. Going inside forward 50, Mockett, big crash. And over the boundary line inside 50 for Warragul Industrials. So they've won another clearance here, Coralin. Just got to act with it now. Gardner, chest mark, has to move it on quickly before they can set up behind the ball. Kick in the general target, or general area of Gillis, I should say. They've got to keep possession here, Coralin. They must respond. All momentum was with the Dusties, and they're going to win it back again. So ball's going to go out to Beck. Villela still chasing hard for it. Over the boundary line. Usually they have many numbers that can leak out the back and find a cheeky goal, Coralin, but in this third quarter they just can't enter inside 50 with any efficiency whatsoever. So Debenham tried to pick it up, eventually did. Spun out of trouble as well, and then gave it off to a teammate. Sends it up towards full forward, and through for a behind instead. 5-7-37, 4-4-28. Don't think Coralin have even scored in this quarter yet. Now 13 minutes through. You want to hope for a little bit of a wriggle on from them. Taylor decided to not attack the footy. Gillis now getting onto it with Herbert. Bit of push and shove there. Gillis versus Mockett, not Herbert. Or actually, I think he's gone against the both of them. So another clearance for Coralin. They've just got to do something with it. Gillis was defended too well. That's going to go over the boundary line. But at least they're gaining a little bit closer just each and every time towards goals. Taylor. Panic sort of kick. Just stayed in bounds, still in bounds. Machaya tackles his man. Didn't dispose of it, but went over the boundary line, so we'll have a throw in. Coralin looking a little bit better at the moment. All they need is one goal to give them a bit of motivation, a bit of momentum. Ball smack forward for Taylor. DaCosta. Then Briggs. Briggs! Check side kick directly in front. That's what they needed, the Cobras. 4-5-34 to 5-7-37. Dusty's still up, but now by less than a kick. 3 points in this one. Great kick, Briggs. Seen a couple of check side sort of kicks today. So back underway now. Ball comes out once again for Ryan Gillis, right under it. Almost took the mark as well, but he's going to be paid the free kick. High contact, you'd believe. Just had the arm over the shoulder. Did Kyle Willis. Coralline have not had the lead since the first quarter. You can bet your top dollar if Gillis kicks this one, he's going to go mental. Little bit of more push and shove behind the plate. It's been the theme of today. Gillis lines it up, gets close to the man on the mark, and that is not a great set shot. He's missed the lot. Very uncharacteristic sort of stuff there from Ryan Gillis. Herbert. Hand pass to McGivlerate. Beck. Was that 15? Apparently so. Hartley tried to affect Templeton there. Templeton looking for Taylor. Visser comes out the back. Hits the deck though. McGarity crumbing the ball up. Now Todd Beck. Walkers providing a punch. Briggs out of defence. Terrific kick. Luke Ryan's got to be really careful. Ball placed out in front of Gillis, but have a look at the footwork there from Willis. Willis did really well to get in front of Gillis. Pressure was too great to provide a proper clearance though. Ryan over the back. Have to get it inside 50 here. Moncton. Helicopter sort of ball. Falls right into the lap of Beveridge, who moves it on. Affecting it well was Coverdale. He hasn't had much game time at all. Visser, Herbert going inside 50. Low sort of kick. McGarity has to work his magic here from the boundary. Falling away. Kicks the behinds. Now 4 points. 5-8-37. 5-4-34 on your Totally Workwear scoreboard. Briggs dropped it. Goes for a bit of a run regardless though. Only just disposed of it. He's turned it over. Visser, his handball wasn't much better. And that's going to roll over towards the boundary line. Or is Visser going to be paid a free kick here? He will. So Nick Visser. He's got a big boot on him. And it'd be silly to count him out from this distance. 50 metres out, right on the arc. Kick was never on its way. Out of bounds on the full. Debenham fights off a couple of opponents. Straight kick back to Visser. He doesn't trust himself with a set shot this time though, so he unselfishly gives it off to Trav Ogden, who's pushed forward of the ground a little in game 100. Nearing closer to extra time, or time added on I should say. This is a huge kick, this one. Ogden, the milestone man. That kick isn't looking too bad, but just goes a little off to the right. 5-9-39, 5-4-34. The score is on your Totally Workwear scoreboard. And there's a player coming off of Coralline. I think that is Brooke. Holding his nose, it seems like. He's requiring a lot of assistance from the trainer as well. Looks like Brooke, but maybe it's Taylor. Similar sort of haircut. No, it's definitely Brooke. Taylor's still out there on the field. Hopefully Corey Brooke is all right there. Ready to resume play. Booming kick out of fullback. Taylor, well punched. Ball dribbles down the wing. Perkins putting in a good effort to apply the pressure. Wasn't good enough though. Bailey Beck. Wow, there was a big crunch there from Cochrane and a bit of a shove as well. All eyes back on the footy though. Trav Ogden looked for McGarity. The kick was way too high though. Ball's going to dribble around there in the forward 50 for the Dusties. Ogden swings around. Brewster on the right. Kick's not looking too bad. And just going to be touched at the goal line there. They're just not making their opportunities count in front of goal. The Dusties, 5-10-40, 5-4-34. Need to start getting a bit more accurate in front of goal whilst they can. Good punch out. From Coralina, probably just want to tie this game going into three-quarter time. North over, big punch. Finds its way over for a stoppage. Back in now. Cochrane, look at the X factor on him. Ball bounces high. Ogden collected it with ease. He's got to be careful, he can't tackle there. Jeez, I think that might be a block on Hartley there. Russell got away with that. Briggs trying to get rid of it. Eventually got a shabby looking kick over to Moncton. Villela escaping the pressure applied to him. Taylor, this is great ball movement. Just have to put the finishing touch on. Spearings, will he go for it? No, he'll hand it off. Now the goal is looking good. Great kick there. Oh no, it's a point. That looks dead straight online. But it's only gone through for a point. 5-10-40, 5-5-35. Exiting our defensive 50, Warrigal. Over the boundary. Here we go. Ryan. Accidental looking torp there. Gardner. Oh no, McGiveaway. He's knocked it right to Spearings, but how has Spearings missed that? Had much more time than he realised, I reckon. And that is two opportunities gone begging for the Cobras. 5-10-40, 5-6-36. Dusty's up by 4. Can't be too much longer left in this third quarter. Takes a bounce. Does Russell. Kick tight along the boundary line. Brewster keeps it alive for a moment. Rain seems to have calmed down a little bit. So fresh airy. Brewster lost it, didn't dispose of it properly. They've called out on the full. So whose ball is it? It's Corallin's. Boundary umpires claiming that it's being kicked out on the full. So it's going to remain with Corallin. I think this is Matt Ryan with it at the minute. Hiding beneath the light pole. It is Matt Ryan. Goes off his line a little bit. Kicks looking good. Oh no, it's just hit the post. Oh, that is agonisingly close. 3 points now. Wow, they have had plenty of opportunities to get out in front, the Corallin Cobras. Russell. Got to keep applying this pressure though. They've set up terrifically behind the ball here. They just cannot let a switch occur. Gillis has left his man a little bit of space. So what's happened here? Boundary umpire and field umpires discussing. Gillis is asking for it. Out on the full is the call, I think. Gillis quick to move it on. Taylor left all alone. Will they finally have a kick to put them up in front? Liam Taylor hadn't played a lot of senior footy up until this year. He's become a regular member of the side now. Tough angle, 40 metres out. Taylor has struck it beautifully. Cobras hit the front. For the first time since the first quarter in the dying embers of the third, Taylor's put his side up in front. Him and Gillis love it. The Warragul fans, however, as you can probably hear, do not. They've been quite vocal in the last couple minutes. They've had two controversial out of bounds on the full free kicks go against them. Here we go again, Corallin with full momentum. Free kick going in the way of Warragul. Todd Beck. Mockett. Puts it up forward. Finds a teammate in Brewster. Should move it on quickly here. Or will he trust himself with the distance? He won't. McGarity was a really good lead. Just maybe the kick was a little bit too short. Wasn't placed out further enough from him. So he wasn't able to run onto it. Pressure from Corallin certainly helped as well. Almost 29 minutes and the free kick's been paid, in fact. So this is going to be on the siren. Tom Cornwall has barely had a touch all day. None more important than this. Cornwall at three-quarter time, he's kicked it. So now the Dusties back with the lead. Just as we thought the Corallin were going to go into three-quarter time with a 3-point lead, it's Cornwall for the Dusties to put them back in front. They lead by 3 at three-quarter time. Jeez, this is going to be a fun last quarter. Can't wait for the finish. We'll take one last ad break and we'll be back shortly.
I'm going all the way up. I'm going all the way up. I'm letting go in my heart of everything that holds me down. No, no. And it's feeling like I'm in the groove. I can feel the love. Oh yeah, it's all around me.
Winterland, whisper in my ear, make my troubles all disappear.
Hey, I'm Michael Vanderklooster, but everyone knows me as Vander. I own a company called Vander Surf, and I've been making boards for 23 years. When I started, it was all hand shaping and templates off the blank, and then as CNC surfboard shaping machines came into more availability, I started designing on the laptop and designing in 3D modeling. It allows me to be creative, express, my artistic side of making surfboards. My favourite part of shaping boards is I really enjoy the interaction with the customer. I love making surfboards for other people. If I can make a board that's going to make them enjoy going surfing more, that's what I get the most joy out of.
This is a story of a community that likes to work hard, digging, fixing, building, keeping people safe, or just lending a hand. A community that all have one place to come together, where they're spoilt for choice and good service is everything. And although there are stores all over Australia, the owners are as local as they come. Totally Workwear, clothing your hard-working community.
I'm going all the way up. I'm going all the way up. I'm letting go in my heart of everything that holds me down. No, no. And it's feeling like I'm in the groove. I can feel the love. Oh yeah, it's all around me.
Winterland, whisper in my ear, make my troubles all disappear.
Hey, I'm Michael Vanderklooster, but everyone knows me as Vander. I own a company called Vander Surf, and I've been making boards for 23 years. When I started, it was all hand shaping and templates off the blank, and then as CNC surfboard shaping machines came into more availability, I started designing on the laptop and designing in 3D modeling. It allows me to be creative, express, my artistic side of making surfboards. My favourite part of shaping boards is I really enjoy the interaction with the customer. I love making surfboards for other people. You know, if I can make a board that's going to make them enjoy going surfing more, that's what I get the most joy out of.
This is a story of a community that likes to work hard.
So welcome back to the Fairhaven Homes Match of the Round stream in the West Gippsland League, and my goodness, what a contest we've had today. Just when it seemed like Warragul were about to get the best of Coralline maybe, Coralline fought back, got the lead for about maybe 30 seconds, and then on the siren was Tom Cornwall for the Warragul Industrials Footy Club on a pretty difficult angle, was able to put them back up by 3 on the siren. Massive last quarter ahead of us. Don't take your eyes away. So ball, it's placed in front of Visser, runs out from the centre square. I think he tried to hit Taylor, but the kick instead found its way. I think that's to Ogden, or Beck rather, I should say. Great run from Visser. Almost reminds me of a Jake Stringer type of sort, Nick Visser. His way to burst through the contest and through the middle and hit the scoreboard. Beck to extend the lead to 9. The skipper, not a great kick. Goes through for a behind, 6-11, 47 to 6-7, 43. Lead sits at just 4 points for Warragul Industrials. Briggs, risky kick through to the middle. Gillis is going to be called for the mark here. Calling for people to come forward. Doesn't have much opening up to him. I think he tried to go the barrel. It's really more of just a poor drop punt. Briggs swept through, put it inside 50. McGillivray should win the ball here. Perkins did well to defend it, however. Debenham out onto the wing, and that kick's just going to dribble over. I think it went out on the full. Edwards is going to run a switch. So Briggs flies it over to Villela. Peluso has to be careful here. Good chest mark. Nickel was imposing his presence. Now Walkus. They're just finding the short options, but they need to move the ball a bit quicker than this. Still plenty of time left in this fourth term, though. That kick really went nowhere. Ogden. Nickel. Nickel, here's Beck. Not quite. Gonna have a throw in. Boundary umpire threw it in a little bit shallow. McGarity was held by Edwards. Could have been a free kick. Ryan's lost it, but they've called it for a sling tackle. That means a lot because McGarity's kicks the goal as well. But they've called it for a sling tackle. So Ryan will get it back for the Cobras. Luke Ryan, wow, that was a good kick. They're not called the mark there. Jeez, I thought he had enough of it. Nonetheless, here come the Industrials. Have a look at Visser. McGarity. Simple mark. Directly in front of goal as well. You'd think he'd be able to extend the lead to 10 here for his footy club. It's maybe 25 out. Doesn't get much easier than this for this man. No issues. Dusty's up by 10. North over versus Ryan. Ryan fumbled around with the ball. Briggs, hand pass, out into space. Now Nickel, think it's kicking in danger. Going to go back to Coralin. So Briggs, Machaya. Machaya is going to take the free kick. In fact, he'll kick it out to the wing. Mark won't count. It was good defence. Faked it out beautifully. I think that was Herbert. Now Taylor was sandwiched by Walkers and another Coralin Cobra. I think it was Briggs. Nickel facing a lot of pressure. Great tackle. Ryan, another hit out to his name. Brewster trying to burst through the pack there. Beveridge hit the deck. Villela getting on top. Stoppage. Herbert. Turnover. Machaya read it wrong. Now trying to redeem himself and go back in for the footy. Here's Visser again. Can't burst through like he typically would. So for holding the man, a free kick's going to be paid to Coralin. Ryan's gone to Peluso, who had a couple of dusty players in front of him. Gillis. The bounce escaped him. Beck out on the wing. He finds Grumish. Walkers trying to run back. Clearly affected Beck well enough. Ball's going to go to ground level again. Ryan for the Cobras. Spun around a couple of times, eventually just settled out for a kick onto space, only for Beck to mark it. Pretty unfazed there. Herbert. Momentum with the Dusties at the minute. Russell runs off from his mark, launches from 50 metres out. Taylor! What a mark from Taylor! Oh, no way they haven't called that a mark. Oh, that is, I must admit, that is a poor call. He controlled that for plenty of time. That is incredibly stiff. Taylor grabs it out of the ruck. Has he kicked it? No. Out to the left. Coralin have to move. 11 points now the difference. Almost out to 2 kicks. Directly into the middle. A lot of congestion building up. Briggs gets it out. Have a look at Gillis running for it. No, Dusty's win possession first. Torpedo goes inside 50. Almost a great mark taken there from Coverdale. Contested as well. Visser read the ball wrong. Ball just came out of the congestion there. 8 minutes 40 left. High intense sort of stuff here. Machai tried to take it clean out of the ruck contest. Ball spits out. Holding the ball, that is red hot. Matt Ryan to take the free kick. Kicks it across. McGarity almost got there. Cronin held his own. Kick across the face of goals. Lateral kick over to Briggs. Walkers bounces off his chest. They have to strike now, the Dusties. Visser crashes into his opponent. McGarity, does he have enough time? Threads the needle. Mason McGarity, the hero of Warragul. Seemed like he only had about 5 inches of space to kick that footy. Actually entrenched into finals. Pretty much already are. Something drastic had to go wrong today for them to lose that much percentage. Walkers ran it into a defender. Ryan, high contact. He'll kick it up into the middle. Beck scoops it up. Brewster. Beveridge now on the wing. Looking for Taylor again. He's on a 3-on-1 situation though. Wasn't much chance he was going to mark that. McGarity slips over. Looks pretty good in picking that one up originally. Mockett, Visser. Out of play. But in Warragul Industrial's forward 50. Machia. Looks like a throw almost. Hartley puts it out. Looking for DeCosta. Does he have the leg speed to beat out Debenham? I'm not sure. Putting on plenty of pressure though. Maybe holding him a little bit back from the ball as well. Great battle there. Neither party won it. Oh, Debenham won the free kick. Disregard. Debenham goes up forward. Ball falls out at the back of the pack. Ryan into space. Here comes Beck or DeSando. Turnover, free kick, high contact going to Adrian DeSando. And then getting stuck into the Coralline defender. Didn't happen to see who that was. A 50-metre penalty's been paid as well. Couple of head rubs. And this most definitely seals it for the Dusties. DeSando makes it 29 points. 10-12, 72 to 6-7, 43 on your Totally Workwear scoreboard. And the finals picture is officially set up in round 17. Inverloch, Phillip Island, Tooradin, Dalmore, Narnagoon, Coralline, and now Warragul Industrials will be the teams competing. Really, you have to applaud the Dusties. They had a bit of a shaky sort of start to their year. Were a bit inconsistent. But since about round 9, they've had a good stretch of form. So free kick going to Visser. Rocket inside 50. Should go out of play. Ball's been lost in the congestion here. Almost kicking in danger, paid against the Cobras. Taylor, Hartley on the left. Kick escaped Gillis. Out of bounds on the full. Put up forward. Jeez, Briggs went up high for it. Didn't get a piece of it though, so now it's going to be Beck deep in the forward pockets. Unsuccessful in taking the mark. Nearing closer to time on. It's been a good Warragul victory today. They stuck at it, remained competitive, never let Coral Lynn get the better of them. Mockett just sends a higher one up into space. Beck punched it, went to Villela, and he did much of the same. Here's DeSando again, looking for back-to-back goals. Found Oldham instead, trying to get clean possession. Peluso had to fight for his life to get it back for his footy club. Stoppage. Northover with his swinging fist. DeSando, high contact. He's going to get another opportunity on goal. DeSando gives it off. Ogden in game number 100. Doesn't have a piece of it. That was a bit silly from Cochrane, wasn't it? So Trav Ogden had a look on goal early on in this game. This would be a nice way to finish his day. He's performed well. So Ogden rolls in. Kick doesn't look too shabby. Just goes out to the left though. So Briggs out of full-back. Ryan made an attempt to mark it. Jeez, that's a big tackle against Templeton. Walkus on the flank to Ryan. Gillis runs forward and marks it cleanly. Now going towards half forward. Coral Lynn haven't been up at this end of the ground for quite some time. Be coming back anyway because Warragul have just won themselves a free. Going towards Nick Visser, who's had plenty of the footy today. Ogden. Really taking the sting out of this one now. Up down the line. Ryan's been paid the mark. Asked for people to come forward to him. It's Perkins. Hasn't been able to do a lot in his debut. Trying to get out to Gardner. Machaya, Taylor, up towards 4-4. Jeez, Gardner nearly got a piece of it. But here is Briggs. Kicks it. Briggs? Pretty sure it was Briggs. Goal nonetheless. Makes the lead look a little bit better. 24 points the difference. 10-13, 73 to 7-7, 49. Your Totally Workwear scoreboard. 23 minutes into this last term. Coralin have been good at stages, but just never good enough across the entirety of the contest. Umpire calls my ball. Give it right back. Machaya snaps it around. Gillis going up for it. Whistle blown. Corallian ball. Gillis looking for Gardner. Pretty simple kick. So I think this would be 95, I want to say, for Gardner. I think this would be for his third. I reckon he'll get to that 100 next week against Kui Rupp. But we'll have to wait and see. Fortunately, we won't be covering that game. Gardner. Now out to 18. He's third for the day. Number 95 on the season. Totally Workwear scoreboard now reads 10-13, 73 to 8-7, 55. 18 points separating these two sides. Cleared out of the centre circle. Machaya. Cleanly. Handballing over to Cochrane. Slipped out of his grasp a little bit. Cochrane just gives a little head shake in disappointment, knowing his side's probably out of this one at the moment. Oldham looking for Bradley. Bradley versus Peluso. Peluso will take it over the boundary once again. 26 and a half through the final quarter. Can't imagine there's too much time left. Briggs was held up there. Ball goes out towards the boundary line. Peluso dove in. Another throw in. So Herbert's leaking out here, so is DeSando. Cochrane still trying his best to fight hard for that footy. Bursting through the contest. Nickel. Peluso. Lost possession of the footy, holding the ball. So I think this is Herbert. Sends it up. Ryan, pretty easy kick for him. So Ryan's going to go directly through the middle, trying to add on some last-minute points. Warragul have won possession again, though. That's what they've done all day in these contested situations. They've just been better in the coalface. Simple as that. And there goes your siren at 28.5 minutes. 10-3, or 10-13. 73 to 8-7, 55. And Moncton and a couple of the Coralin boys are getting into it post-siren. We know tensions have been high all day. And just a crowd forming there between the Dusties and the Cobras. I think it was an incident between Peluso and another Warragul Industrials player. Didn't happen to see who it was, but large crowd forming out there. Eventually either party separated. Always had a bit of a suspecting feeling that that was going to happen, though. The tensions have been very high all throughout this contest, so no surprises there, to be honest. Good to see everyone shaking hands. Even after that, though, Cochrane maybe still talking a little bit of smack. But no, the Dusties were simply better all day. Coralin, they showed moments where they wanted to burst and really chuck on the score, or chuck on the scores, but they just didn't do it at a consistent enough level. Never won enough contested footy either. It was always Warragul who were just working harder through the coalface, whether it was either through Debenham or Visser, or even Bailey Beck went into the middle at some times, and he was great. And can I just say, great job to Ben Northover in the ruck as well. He filled Mark Bradley's role really well, and maybe that's what hurt the Cobras as well. They're missing Billy Thomas, obviously their main ruck. But back to the drawing board for Coralin. They face up against Cooey Rupp next week, and as far as I'm aware, I think it's going to be Nathan Gardner who needs 5 goals to reach his century on the season. As for Warragul Industrials, they've got Garfield in the last game of the season at Garfield. That should probably be a win, considering how the Dusties have been going the past couple of weeks, and they're still talking. It's just coaches and players, they're all talking here. I mean, Coralin, they don't have much right to talk, to be honest. They were completely outclassed all day. Simple as that. Still so much talk. Russell's just the main instigator in that case. And if that's going to be a finals matchup later on the season, geez, that's going to be an interesting one to watch. But nonetheless, both teams off the ground now. That's all we have time for today for the Fairhaven Homes Match of the Round stream. Warragul, they just got the better of Coralin there. 10-13, 73 to 8-7, 55. I've been your play-by-play commentator, Bailey Allen. Make sure you join our stream next week. It's Inverloch versus Phillip Islands. We'll see you next time.